tight ends for the 49ers now. 2nd and 7. Gerbach to throw it. Wide open is Jerry Rice. And off to the races is Jerry Rice. Rice, touchdown from Gerbach. 81 yards.
Oh, baby, one of the many Jerry Rice highlights. He's on a short list for being one of the greatest players in the NFL. I'm serious. 22 touchdown catches in 1987. The guy has a touchdown record. I mean, how many 50-plus yard touchdowns did Jerry Rice have? And that was one against the Dallas Cowboys, and I wonder if that's his favorite memory. As we say, good morning to everybody out there getting off the graveyard shift. The overnight dancers, of course, Comcast Business Text Line, YouTube, Twitch, powered by First NorCal Credit Union. Let's just get right into it with the GOAT, Jerry Rice, who joins us again on the Morning Roast. Long time no talk. And, Jerry, congrats on GOAT Fuel. You're adding to the roster Tyreek Hill, big game James Worthy, Michael Cooper. I think it's just a matter of time before your son, who's played at USC, is part of the GOAT Fuel family. Jerry, good morning.
Hey, good morning. How's everything?
Everything is great. I know you're feeling good right now watching your son go up against Prime Time and his kids and light them up last week in Boulder, Colorado. But it's Cowboys-Niners week, and there's a lot to get into here, Jerry. So what's your favorite memory of this rivalry? Is it the NFC Championship game? Is it a touchdown right before halftime? Is it that play in the regular season catching that pass from Elvis Gerbach? What's your favorite memory when it comes to the Niners and Cowboys?
Oh, I know you better get your popcorn ready. I know that, man. It's going to be exciting. So I would say when we went in there with Elvis Gerbach, because no one expected us to win. And, I had this one matchup. I think a linebacker tried to cover me inside, and I was able to get inside, and Elvis delivered the football. Then I was able to go 81 yards. But, so many great memories, man, because, we just do not like those Cowboys, and they don't like us. So it's always a rival, and it's always a big game. So I need the fans. There, Sunday night to be loud, be really not loud and get that energy going. And hopefully the Niners can get a victory.
Jerry, we've talked to you so many times, and I still feel like a little kid because the numbers you put up when we were watching you, to say they were like a video game is an understatement. I mean, it's Wilt Chamberlain-like. It's surreal. And to see Christian McCaffrey, tie and break some of the things that you did over the longevity of your career is surreal. When you're watching CMC, what are you seeing?
Well, CMC is getting it done, man. And, with that many touches, we don't want to give him that many touches because I think he had around about 27. We need to shorten that. And, I'm just hoping that everyone else can get healthy, like Deebo Samuel, Brian Aiyuk, all of those guys. And, but whenever he touches the football, he's electrifying. He's amazing. He knows how to get into the end zone. And, people, this is the weirdest thing because they're like, oh, my God, he broke Jerry Rice's record. And I'm behind that 100%. I give him credit for that. But I might only get 5 touches in a game. I do not get 27 touches or more. And if I had gotten that, I probably would have doubled all my yardage and stuff. But I'm behind him 100%, and I was glad to see him get that done.
Only Jerry Rice can respond like that.
I love you so much.
13 touchdown in 13 straight games from McCaffrey, breaking Rice's touchdown streak of 12 straight games with a touchdown. That's incredible. Rice is right. 5 touches, Shasky.
I'm looking at his 87 season. You only played in 12 games. You didn't even have the most catches on the team. Roger Craig did, which is incredible, which brings me to the Roger Craig comparisons for CMC. Obviously, you've talked about how great Roger is. Do you see shades of Roger when you watch Christian McCaffrey? Because there's a lot of similarities, yet there's some differences.
Well, I see shades, but I also see a guy that is faster. With him running the football, then with him coming out of the backfield, catching the ball. So he's a unbelievable weapon, and that he's gonna put points on the board, And we always base, the offense around the running game. If you get that running game going, it's going to open up everything else. And I think, Dallas got a big challenge coming in because, with that defensive line, that defense, they got to be aware that this guy can catch the ball out of the backfield, but, he's also very productive at running the football.
Crazy because you play with Roger Craig and Ricky Waters, and I think people around here forget how dynamic Ricky Waters was out of the backfield and lining up in the slot, catching passes there. Jerry Rice, the GOAT, here on the Morning Roast on 95.7 The Game. Go pick up some GOAT fuel. We all need it. We're going to need it for Sunday Night Football against the Dallas Cowboys, and the roster just gets bigger and bigger with Tyreek Hill, James Worthy, and Michael Cooper, so all champions in their own right following Jerry Rice here. Speaking of Brock Purdy, you played with Joe Montana. You played with Steve Young. You played with some great ones. And you caught a lot of touchdowns from both of those guys. Brock Purdy now is undefeated so far in his young career outside the NFC Championship game, which he only played 6 plays. Does he show you resemblances or shades of Joe Montana or Steve Young? Because I see the footwork. I see the pocket presence. He was 20 of 21 last week, Jerry. Does he remind you of any of those quarterbacks that you played with?
The quietness, the confidence, his composure on the football field, his great leadership, all of those things, they factor in. And I think it just, it calms everyone else down. And I think he has that with his teammates. And they know that Brock is going to be able to get them the ball, not going to hang them out to dry, anything like that. His accuracy is amazing. The velocity on the ball, it doesn't take long to get there. But I would say the most important thing is his decision making. He doesn't, turn the ball over that often.
Right.
And you just know that he's going to make plays.
When did you start to believe in him? Like, when did you go, because wide receivers know. You know what I mean? Guys who played the game know. When was that, kind of moment where the light turned on for you?
I think when I met him on the field and we just had a conversation and I was watching him throw the football and it just, and it didn't take that long to get to whoever was catching the ball. I said, oh my God, look at that rocket arm. And, just his composure, man. And I think it reminds me a lot of Joe Montana because Joe, he was always that type of quarterback that would lead by example. And I think you're seeing that with Brock.
No doubt. Jerry Rice here on the Morning Roast on 95.7 The Game. I see a little bit of that too. Young Brady, young Montana, the poise, the footwork, and he's just getting in the right play. One incompletion last week, which is incredible. The ball didn't touch the turf. Now, speaking of which, there's some primetime wide receivers in this game. There's always been primetime wide receivers in this rivalry. I know Michael Irvin tried to be like you. Alvin Harper tried to say he was a real number 80. We knew that was a lie. You showed him that, Jerry. But this week, we have CeeDee Lamb on one side and Brandon Aiyuk. And Brandon Aiyuk was an afterthought a couple years ago. Can you discuss his growth within this offense? Because he's coming on fire. You know he's going to get a big bag in the near future. 6 targets, 6 catches last week. 8 targets, 8 catches against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Can you talk about Brandon Aiyuk's growth within this offense?
Yeah, I think with Brandon, you're seeing a guy that has a lot of confidence. Well, he has a lot of confidence right now. But it's really his route running, the execution behind that, getting open, being able to, read defenses. If it's a man-to-man, if it's a zone, being able to settle down in those zones and, just having a great time on the football field. And you notice that most of the big plays are with Brandon Aiyuk, downfield. So I think with Dallas, they know that this guy is the best route runner for the San Francisco 49ers, and he's going to make big plays.
Jerry, there's a workman-like confidence and discipline that this team has been displaying all offseason, but in particular the first couple weeks of the season. It reminds me a lot of your teams in the early 90s where it was this is all about the Super Bowl. This has no, yes, we want to win as many games to get a good seed, to get the bye, but there's a greater goal here. Have you talked to any of the guys behind the scenes about just winning the Super Bowl and anything short of that isn't acceptable?
I think I basically really don't need to talk to the guys because they're ready.
Yep.
They know what is at stake this year, and I think we're off to a good start. It's going to take it's going to take more time, and we have to get by like week 10 or something like that. But then we'll know exactly where we are. But I think we got all the pieces of the puzzle right now. They know what they have to do, and it's just one game at a game. It's brick by brick. And get into the playoffs, and then go ahead and win that most important game, the Super Bowl.
You know what? You're so right, Jerry. In the fan base, we've been saying on these airways, we know what it is. It's about the Super Bowl. It's about being in Las Vegas in February and hoisting that 6 Lombardi. But we're going to enjoy the ride. But like you just said, Jerry, right. They know what it is. It's about winning the prize. That's all that's left for this core. That's all that's left for this head coach. Now, it was all that was left for you guys in the mid-'90s to beat the Dallas Cowboys. And I remember when you guys did win it, there was a legendary back and forth between you and Deion. And you had to check some reporters saying, hey, we've been winning since before Deion and after Deion here. Talk about those rivalries. And did that amplify the rivalry once Deion Sanders left the Niners and joined the hated Dallas Cowboys?
Well, Deion, he came to us, and he was that missing part that we needed, that one-on-one coverage guy. And we could always put him on their best receiver, and we knew that Deion was going to shut him down. But then Deion decided to go and move on to Dallas. So we have always had a winning tradition, with the San Francisco 49ers. We have the greatest fans ever in the Bay Area, and that was something we didn't want to let them down. And we just went out and we fought hard and we won football games. And I'm looking at Sunday night games, and Jerry Jones said this. He said that we are probably the number one contender, for the Super Bowl. And I said that's a setup. I want the Niners to know this: that hey, look, statement night is Sunday night. We probably going to face this team maybe down the road. If it's not Dallas, it's going to be Philadelphia. Sunday night football is statement night, and it's a great opportunity for those guys to go out and showcase their abilities and show what they can do. So let's go do this and just take one game at a time, get to the playoffs, and get to the ultimate prize. It's the Super Bowl.
I know B wants to ask you a Deion question, and we'll wait on that for a second here. You referenced Jerry Jones. What's it like being around Jerry Jones? I mean, did he talk smack to you back in the day?
I can't stand him, Jerry.
Vontae can't stand him.
I can't stand Jerry.
I get a kick out of him.
No, man, to be honest with you, I have had conversations with him many, many times. And, he's a funny guy. He's funny, but, I think he's a great owner for the Dallas Cowboys. He likes to be in the spotlight. He's always doing interviews. But, he really he believes in the Dallas Cowboys. I'm going to take you guys back to Deion also, because there was an altercation. I think it was Super Bowl 29 in Miami, where some of the guys, they decided to be a little late for curfew, and the coaches the next morning, they turned it over to the team to deal with that situation. And everybody thought that Deion and I, we were trying to choke each other out or do whatever. I was just letting those guys know that it's important for us to go out there and win that Super Bowl. And we can party after, we can have a good time, but we didn't want to lose sight of what we had to get done.
No doubt about that. How similar or how different was Eddie D compared to Jerry Jones?
Yeah.
Eddie DeBartolo, I considered as, and I still do, I consider him the greatest owner ever. He was all about family. He wanted to win for San Francisco. We traveled first class. We stayed in the best hotels. We ate good. And all he wanted us to do was win football games and win championships. And we were able to do that.
Jerry, did Jerry Jones ever try to sign you when you left the Niners, or did you ever consider the Dallas Cowboys? Because it feels like Willie Mays joining the Dodgers. You know
remember,
what I mean?
He thought he was going to be drafted by the Cowboys.
Yeah. You know, guys, because Dallas had the next pick, and I just knew that I was going to be a Dallas Cowboy, but San Francisco, they traded with the New England Patriots to get down to that 16th spot, and that's how I got drafted to San Francisco. Then once I got drafted, I thought about God himself, Joe Montana. I said, "Oh man, what would that be like to catch a football from him?" And I came in. Then you had Dwight Clark, you had Freddie Solomon, you had Ronnie Lott, all of these great players. And I would sit back and just watch those guys, and just went out there and went to work.
Were you in Boulder, Colorado last week watching your son, Jerry? Because he's moving up the draft boards, man. Your son is nice out there at USC.
Yeah, he's always bragging about being bigger and faster and all of that. And I say I have to bring him back down to reality at times, because I think, going into this week, he has about 8 touchdowns. He has caught a touchdown in every game. Mm-hmm. And he's starting to, I think, put everything together right now, because, with all the NILs and stuff like that, there are so many different distractions. And plus he's playing on a great team, USC in Los Angeles. I try to keep him really focused. Mm-hmm. And I didn't go to Colorado because all the entertainers and all the stars have to be on the sidelines of CU. Then they put them up in the box, and there was no way I was going to do that, because I'm all about fight on USC.
There you go. And look, it must feel good for you to see your son battle against Emmitt Smith's son at Stanford and blow them out, and then to see your son get the last laugh against prime time and his kids. Did you get a little extra satisfaction and some bragger? I said, "Hey man, my son's coming out with the W. It's like father, like son."
No, you know what, man? I'm just like a father. I just kick back and there's so much enjoyment, because to see all of that hard work starting to pay off, and just to see him continue to grow, and and just taking one game at a time. And I'm looking forward to him getting to the next level. Yeah. And I told him, and I tell him this every time I talk to him: nothing is granted. You got to earn it. And every time you step onto that football field, step on with a passion, the love of the game, lead by example, by working hard, and then your teammates going to follow. And I think he's getting that now, and there's more to come.
All right, one more for you, Jerry. We'll get you on out of here on this one. Parsons versus Nick Bosa. There's a lot of talk back and forth. They're both great players. You've played the game a long time. Niner fans are freaking out because Bosa only has 1 sack. What do you say to those people losing their minds about Bosa only having 1 sack right now?
Well, Bosa came in late, guys, so he's going to get it going. He's a freak of nature, and he's a force on that football field. So, he skipped a lot of games, and I think he's just getting his feet under him. But also Parsons on the other side, he's causing havoc, with that Dallas defense, and we're going to have to really pay attention to him. But I would have to go with Nick any day.
You know what? We'll get you out of here with a couple ones. You don't even have to respond to this one, but the 92 NFC Championship game, second, third play of the game, you break a 70, 80-yard touchdown, and they called that phantom hold on Guy McIntyre. Does that still tick you off?
Yeah, that's still, man. It still hurts, because I knew that I knew the importance of that game, and I came to the line of scrimmage, and I'm just like a quarterback, because I'm looking for a zone or I'm looking for man, and it was man to man, and I think the defensive back, it was Isaac Hope, and all I had to do was get close as possible to him where I could hear his heartbeat. Once I got that relationship with him, I broke it to the post, and I was able to score on that touchdown. But we got called back for holding.
Changed the game.
Said, because of Guy McIntyre.
Changed the game. Guy McIntyre still can't get over it. And lastly, Go Fuel. How's it feel to have Tyreek Hill, one of the speediest guys we've ever seen in this league?
Yeah.
Did you get big game James Worthy and Michael Cooper? You got nothing but champions on your roster now with Go Fuel, man. You guys are doing it big over there at Go Fuel.
Yeah, Tyreek is he's a fantastic wide receiver, the fastest guy ever. Then also to have dealt with Michael Cooper and James Worthy of the Lakers. So, Goatfield, man, we're having a great time. We also, we happy, to bring on 7-Eleven and I remember going to Dallas. I went to Dallas to their headquarters, and I sat there. And you made that pitch, and I guess they can see that drive in that work ethic, and to bring them on board, 7-Eleven, that's a game changer right there. So to have all these guys, to have Goldfield, to have my daughter, running the company, she's the CEO. So we're just going to keep on making those tiny steps. We're going to keep building it brick by brick, and hopefully, we get big one day.
No, you are big already, Jerry Rice. You guys are doing great things with Goldfield. To have Tyreek and James Worthy and Michael Cooper, big time success to you. 7-Eleven, that's huge. Go ahead, Chester.
You going to be there on Sunday night?
Of course,
running routes in the end zone.
I'm going to be there. I'm going to be there. I'm going to be loud. I'm going to have my big rope chain on.
Oh, of course.
Someone, you better get your popcorn ready, everybody. And like I said, I want the fans to come. I want you guys to be loud. If we don't like the Dallas Cowboys, then we need to let them know that.
No doubt about that, Jerry Rice. I seen him giving daps to Ronnie Bell and company on Thursday Night Football. Jerry, it feels like he could just play. If he could suit up.
No, he can.
And we got to we got to shut up Michael Irvin. Aren't we tired of him talking about the Cowboys? Oh, these Cowboys on TV. Jerry, come on. We got to shut them up this Sunday. Thanks for the time, Jerry.
Man. And like I said, statement night is Sunday night, so let's go get it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Jerry, thanks so much for the time, as always.
All right, guys. You guys have a good one. Go Niners.
Let's
go.
There
it is. Jerry Rice, the GOAT, here on the Morning Roast on 95.7 The Game. Breaking down the game, breaking down the rivalries. Got great things happening with Goldfield.